Hey everybody, it's Emerald Stars. Welcome back to another episode of Harvest Block. All right, let's get to it and have some fun. There's been a game update, and before the update, I was planning on making this area and using it for the crop gatherers. So these right here from Industrial Foregoing. And with these, they're pretty cheap to make, they're really simple to use, and they don't use up a lot of power. And also you can get expansions on them for size of the platform of land that they harvest, and they can harvest with a simple nether crystal or a nether quartz. Sorry, that's what it's called. And they can do this 19 by 19 platform here, but they're pretty slow and they require tons and tons and tons of sprinklers. So I decided to take all that down. I had a whole sprinkler setup going on and water tank and everything like that, and that's what I was going to use. And then the update came out and the garden cloches are operational now, and so that is definitely the route that I'm going to go in. And they're really, really simple to make. You just, the hardest component is this vacuum tube right here, and that's just made on the engineer's workbench. And you get 3 tubes per make, so that's really simple. And you just need your glass, nickel plate, redstone, and copper wire. The only thing with a little bit of nuance are these engineer's blueprints right here. And if you click on that, JEI will come up with this recipe sheet here, and they all kind of look exactly the same. So what you have to look for is, see, if you hold shift, it'll tell you what components it makes. So you need to have this one right here that says vacuum tube in it and make this recipe here. Otherwise you're going to end up with recipes for molds or armor piercing cartridges. You have to make sure that you're crafting the correct blueprint. I've done that before, where I was trying to make blueprints for something and I crafted the wrong blueprint, and it's not a huge deal, it's just a little frustrating. So make sure you get the right one, the one that says the vacuum tube on that. So I'm gonna get all of those ingredients together and see if I can get a couple cloches set up. I might keep this area, I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of an eyesore at the moment, so I'm gonna probably do something with it. Maybe not, because I mean, I've been saying that about this base this whole time, and I haven't done anything with it yet, and I probably won't. But yeah, to get my soils out, I made a hole and dropped a water stream down and then put slabs under all my soils so that when I mine them up, they didn't just drop into the void, because I don't want to be dropping my hard-earned soils into the void, because that would be really depressing. So I am going to get started with getting everything I need to make these cloches, and I will be right back. As you can see, I spent quite a bit of time between cuts working on setting up all of these cloches, and it is a glorious sight to behold. Look at that, all of those. And that's not nearly as many as I want to have. I want to have probably this whole platform filled up with cloches. But yeah, let's look at over here, I've got over 2,500 wood and water and fire and all of the really good stuff. And I've been putting these storage upgrades in the drawers since they were at capacity with 512, and then these weren't near, I think capped out at 2048 or something like that. I don't know, binary math. But yeah, so to get these cloches, I wanted an AE system. And to get an AE system, I needed a relatively automatic inscriber setup. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what I did here and how this all works, just so if you want to have a similar kind of setup, you can go on ahead and do that. And yes, AE has its own crafters, and it can do all these things automatically. I just set this up as a quick kind of simple beginner early-ish game. I guess I'm not really an early game anymore, but an easier setup than getting into all the AE crafting and assembling stuff just yet. So I have 4 assemblers here, and in each of them I have the 4 different presses, so that I can put in my pure quartz, pure Syrtis quartz, my diamond, my gold, and my silicon into these 4, and it'll make that part of the press. And then they go into my AE system when they're done. And if I take them out and put them in this chest, the pressed gold, diamond, quartz, and silicon, they'll be pulled into here, and I'll put some redstone in that chest, and it'll make whichever type of circuit I'm trying to make. And it just kind of speeds up the process, since these take like 27 logic circuits. And with this setup, I just skipped straight to the 64Ks, since I obviously needed them. As you can see, I'm already kind of full. So I have 62 of the 63 types in this one and 59 of the 63 in this one, and I don't even have that much in my system right now. All of these seeds actually aren't even in this system here, because they would majorly bog it down there, hanging out over in here. And I locked all of these drawers so that if I ever empty out a drawer, it won't try and fill it up with something else from the system, because I put a storage bus on my controller here so that it can connect into my system. But the thing with a storage bus is it'll try and use any extra space. Like these drawers right here are obviously, I didn't lock them, so they've gotten a bunch of junk thrown into them, which I'm going to have to sort out in a bit. And if I use up a stack, whatever's in these drawers, then it'll again try and put whatever junk in it can. So to keep that from happening, I got a lock. And for the cloches, you need power and you need water. And so for the water, I got the ender boar, and you'd probably be fine with just like a 2x2 one, but I had made this 2x4 one when I was trying to do all the sprinkling systems, and so I just slapped that into the floor and used that for it instead. And I decided to do all of this off camera just because whenever I'm trying to build and work things out, it's a very slow process because I'm kind of a spaz. Here, let me sleep so we can get rid of this rain here. It's not a good idea to film in the rain. Sorry about that. So I'm kind of a spaz on camera, and it's really hard for me to focus and make sure that I'm getting things done correctly. So I went on ahead and did this off camera because there's a lot of moving around, a lot of reorganizing. And see these right here, you can tell they're not being harvested. It's because they've got a full stack, a full inventory in here. And that's probably because I need to upgrade their storage drawers. I'm just waiting on some more diamonds. I should actually have a bunch more by now because I've been throwing some HOP graphite ingots into here, so I have enough to make some more of those upgrades and get ourselves a little bit more capacity for those storage drawers. There we go, we have 3 more. And once I have emerald, those upgrade 32 times the base value, whereas so these upgrades, they increase by 16 times, and the emeralds increase by 32 times. So let's see what else is electrical steel. That one's here. So, and not all of the seeds. I don't have all of the seeds in the cloches. I was trying to prioritize, and since redstone alloy is one of those that really never gets used because I don't ever use the redstone conduits from Ender.io. I always use the these energy conduits, because the redstone conduit is kind of, it's more for your vanilla Minecraft type wiring, but on steroids because it's under IO. So I don't really use that, and so I didn't bother putting that in a cloche. And things like living wood and living rock, which, yes, it's cool, but we're really not doing much with Botania anymore, and I don't know how much farther into it we're gonna get, so that doesn't really have a place at the moment. Whereas other things like iron, I obviously need a ton of, and so I've got upgrades in there. These probably don't need to be as upgraded as high as they are, but oh well, we'll have tons of wood and dirt for our entire lives on this, in this show. So I haven't yet put any of the tier 4 soils into a cloche yet. I just haven't made up those yet, and I wanted to bring you guys in and show you what's been going on before I got too far into everything. And for power, I do have these 3 vibrant photovoltaic cells. And before you say, oh no, we don't have access to the vibrant alloy ingots yet. Well, it's an alloy, and because it's an Ender IO, you put your energetic alloy and your Ender Pearl and you get a vibrant alloy ingot. It's going to be a lot easier when we get tier 5 and we can just put this stuff in a cloche and accumulate gobs and gobs of it. But right now we just use the alloy smelter, and that's how I managed to get the vibrant photovoltaic cell. Is I just went that route, and I just crafted this one here instead of going and upgrading them all tier by tier. It was just faster for me, and you don't need as many of these, the photovoltaic plates. You need 3 per type of plate, and if you go and upconvert each of them, you're going to end up needing a way more than if you just make the vibrant one to start with, since it's going to take 9 of each of these, and that requires a sag mill. It's a quicker process to just go straight for it. So that's what I did. And I guess I didn't really explain this super well, but basically there's items coming out of this chest and going into each of these here, and that will be our gold and our diamond and silicon and stuff. And then when those items are done, when the presses are made, they'll go back into our ME system, or AE system. ME is the power. And then the same with this one, you'll have your press, your redstone, and your silicon going in there, and you can kind of see that little bit of cable under there. A lot of my cables I ran underneath everything just because it's prettier and they go behind and stuff like that. This power situation right here bothers me just a little bit at the moment, but once I start adding in more cloches, and I'm going to bring them I'm going to do 2 more in each of these rows and bring it up here, so that, and I will be adding more of these capacitor banks just so that it's a little taller and I can have more space to walk under it. So instead of this being kind of like right here on the floor, it'll connect up here, which will kind of clean things up a little bit. But until then, this isn't terrible, not compared to what it used to be. I used to have my entire ME system right here, and I had growth crystal accelerators here, and it was a big, huge mess, and I wanted to kind of clean that up a little bit before I brought you guys in and showed you what I've been doing. But yeah, that has been what I've been working on. I kind of had mod pack ADHD or ADD, I suppose, and just kind of, I need to do this and this and this and this, and I just kind of lost track of getting the tier 5 soils. I still have that one that I made on camera with you guys, I think. I guess I don't have any tier 5s right now. I could swear I made at least one. I guess the quest book could tell me. I guess I haven't made any tier 5. So, oh yeah, because that needed these demonic slates, and I was still working on getting this all set up and getting a diamond sword so that I could get, I don't know, it's been so long since I've worked on this that I don't even remember what I was going for it. But this has been kind of just chilling over here, doing its thing, and since they changed grave mods, there used to be like grave dust here, but it's gone, and it filled it up with those skeleton skulls. But yeah, I need to get back into working on this here, the blood magic, so that I can hopefully get a tier 5 soil. And I think that's what I'm going to work on and finish that up and then call it an episode, since I haven't had an episode out in a while because, you know, real life, and I couldn't keep up with a daily posting schedule with real life and Minecraft, and it didn't work out. So videos aren't going to be coming out daily anymore. All right, I am going to do what I need to get blood magic working for me so that I can get our first tier 5 soil. Okay, I took a little bit of time to reacquaint myself with what it is that I'm supposed to be doing here. And so I need this tier 4 altar to be able to get the demonic wills. That's the demonic slates. Is it slate or will? Whatever they are. The demonic something or others. So to get that, I need these a bound blade here, and that'll give me these weak blood shards so that I can make the blood bricks or blood tiles that go on top of here, since these are not actually supposed to be redstone blocks. They are supposed to be the blood tiles. And to get that, I need to put down one of these arcane ashes and do... Oh, that's a really pretty circle. And put in our sword, and that'll give us a bound blade. Oh dear. I get struck by lightning. Scooch back and let that do its thing at a safe distance. Oh, jeez, my heart just yo-yoed to the floor. I thought I fell into the void for a second. So here's our bound blade. They all kind of look like a shovel. See the bound blade, bound pickaxe, bound axe, bound shovel. They all look like shovels. So, whatever, it's ugly, but that's what we have to do. Where's my chest? There we are. I do have to move all of this gunk into my AE system. I may or may not, depending on how much more we actually need to use blood magic. So, wow, that was really easy. We have our blood shard now, and it makes 16 of these large bloodstone tiles with just one thing of stone, and we need 4. So that's really not even a big deal. Oh hey, yeah, see, you can look over there and you can see my wiring just kind of like poking out through the bottom there. It looks good up here though, even if it looks funny down below. And stone, there's our stone. And our shard, large blood tiles. And I'm gonna need some kind of scaffolding block to put these up there because I am not Spider-Man and I cannot climb that high up. I wonder if they have the climbing gloves in this one. I don't think so. But yeah, I'm just gonna go around, do these janky little pillars here, and replace my glowstone with these large bloodstone tiles. I really should have grabbed a shovel. That's gonna make this a lot faster. I will be right back. Yeah, before filming I was working on getting the wireless crafting terminal set up so I don't have to return to home every time I want to craft something. But it required a little bit more than what I had going on at the moment, so I just decided I needed to film since it's been a while and I wanted to get an episode out. So I will be probably working on that between the next episodes so that I can have wireless crafting. I already have this little wireless terminal here, but it's not even connected up because I don't have a security terminal set up yet. So it's kind of useless, and it's powered up. I charged it in the little charger, but it's still not gonna do me any good because I don't have it linked up because I don't have the security thing. Okay, so that is our tier 4 altar. I'll grab the divination sigil just to make sure that's what we got going on here. Yep, tier 4. Look at that, guys. And with that, we can start dropping in a bunch of our, the stone pieces in the slate. I'm going to flick this on and let my automatic system do all of the base ones, but I don't have a system set up for the succeeding tiers, so I'm going to have to do those manually, which is going to be a pain, but you know, whatever, que sera. And so I am going to go on ahead and get that done and cut back to you guys when I have all of my, what am I going for, guys? Oh my gosh, my brain is not connected today. The demonic slates. When I have all of my demonic slates for making our tier 5 soil up there, we got the clouds over my astral sorcery platform up there. I can't even see it. But it's up there, I promise. Oh, yep, there it is. Poking back out from the clouds. And I nearly walked off the edge. That was clever, clever move. So I'm going to go on ahead and get my demonic wills, and I will see you guys in a bit. As the moon rises, we get more and more starlight in our celestial altar here, and I can begin the ritual for our tier 5 soil here. I don't know quite how much it needs, I think, to here. I don't know if that's like a visual thing or if it needs to be that far. Well, it wouldn't have started if it wouldn't work, so there's our tier 5 soil cooking up, and wow, that didn't take long for a astral sorcery ritual, but here we have it, guys. We have tier 5 soils now, and so we can finally start getting actual diamonds and emeralds, and with the emeralds we can greatly upgrade our storage drawers over here, and yeah, the future is bright with tier 5, and I have a lot of quests in here to go through and get. The dev added this garden cloche to the quest line. It wasn't in there before the update because it wasn't working. This is what we just got. Clear this one out too. And I spent a lot of time working in Ender.io, getting a better sag mill, getting a better capacitor bank, the ME conduits, because I prefer to use Ender.io whenever I possibly can, and so a lot of my wiring for the AE systems are with these ME conduits here. So collect those. I got the enhanced energy conduits, and now that I have tier 5 soils, I can start getting more vibrant alloy ingots. Yes, I can make them now, but it's going to be a lot easier when I can just grow them automatically in my beautiful cloches over here. And then I can upgrade all of my stuff to these Ender energy conduits. So that'll be nice. And all the stuff I spent doing in the applied energistic systems. I technically have this right here, but it's underneath my inscriber system over there, and I got it before I got any of these, so it's not registering. I will undoubtedly make another interface here in the near future just because that's something I'm going to need. And last but not least, our tier 5. That gives us 10 glowing instead of 5. I mean, it's better than 5, but still, it's 10, so whatever. And then I can start working on getting these seeds and just progressing so much further in this pack. And I think with that, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.